Let's begin by gathering what we need from our local hardware store. 1 1/4 inch plastic pop-up sink drain assembly. 2 1/4 inch flat washers. 1 number 10 24 2-inch machine screw. 1 number 10 24 cap nut. 1 roll electrical tape. 1 roll friction or hockey tape. Optional duct tape and or painter's tape. 2-part epoxy for plastic. 1/2 inch PVC pipe, approximately 45 inches. 1 1/2 inch PVC coupling. Optional 1 1/2 inch PVC cap. Some of the tools you may need. 3/16 inch drill bit. Dremel tool for sanding. Hacksaw for cutting the PVC pipe. Sandpaper for sanding PVC prior to painting. Sharpie marker. Razor blade, knife, or pair of scissors. Eye protection and other safety equipment. Now let's begin. First, open up your drain assembly package. Open our drain assembly unit. Start by disassembling the drain unit. Now let's gather what we need to keep. The hilt, our end cap, our rubber washer, our screw-on nut, and our vinyl washers for the side drain opening. Next, grab the remaining pieces and let's discard them appropriately. Next, let's mix our 2-part epoxy. Apply it to the bottom of the end cap. Next, secure the end cap to the bottom of the hilt. Perfect! Now set it aside and let it dry. Once the epoxy has set up, we can use our Sharpie marker to mark the center on the opposite side of the side drain opening. You can locate that right on the seam of the plastic hilt. Now, using our 3/16 inch drill bit, we can make a hole on the mark we just made. Remember to use proper safety equipment. Make sure our number 10 machine screw fits in the hole we just created. Next, using the Dremel tool, sand out the inside ridge of our 1/2 inch PVC coupler. If you're going to use the 1/2 inch PVC cap, make sure to sand off the lettering on the outside. Now make sure the 1/2 inch coupler slides completely onto the 1/2 inch PVC pipe. Now using the electrical tape, tape a single layer, one layer of tape onto the 1/2-inch coupler. Try not to overlap. Grab the friction tape, or if you're using hockey tape, tape approximately 36 inches of tape to the end of the PVC pipe. You can add or subtract tape as needed to ensure a tight fit into the hilt. Insert the PVC pipe into the hilt. Align the 1/2-inch coupler so that it is flush with the top of the hilt. Now if the blade is too tight or loose, this is the time to add or subtract friction tape or hockey tape. Mark a line with your Sharpie at the top of the PVC coupler, top of the hilt on the PVC pipe. Now remove the PVC pipe / blade from the hilt. Slide the coupler to your mark you just made and mark a second line at the bottom of the coupler with your Sharpie marker. At this point, I decided to paint the blade. I was using the Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Coat paint and primer. Prior to painting, I sanded the entire blade with the sandpaper, then attached the 1/2-inch PVC cap with the epoxy. But make sure prior to doing that our 1/2-inch coupler is still attached, because it's going to be a pain in the butt if you don't. Make sure you paint in a well-ventilated area. Now, using your friction or hockey tape, tape about 36 inches to the bottom mark you made where the 1/2-inch coupler sits on the blade. Now repeat the same thing to the top mark of the coupler, another 36 inches of your friction or hockey tape. Insert the blade back into the hilt. This will be a snug fit, so be careful and be patient. Add and subtract tape as needed. Now with your Sharpie, mark a dot in the center of the side drain hole opening onto your PVC blade as shown. Remove the blade one last time. Using our 3/16 inch drill bit, drill a hole onto the mark we made on the blade. Make sure our number 10 machine screw can pass through the entire blade. Now let's decorate. Do whatever you want. I use some red paint to paint the top of the machine screws to act as the power button. I also took the top washer that we're going to use to secure these, painted it black with our Sharpie. You'd use paint, tape, whatever you think. Now for the grip. Use your imagination. Use hockey or friction tape, electrical tape, decorative style duct tape, painter's tape, paint, cloth, whatever you want. I went with the electrical tape. Here I used a intersecting type pattern. Ran the electrical tape in one direction and then again in the other direction. Here, single wrap all the way up and down, and then finally use some colorful duct tape on the last. Finally, let's assemble our hilt. Grab the hilt, our screw-on nut, and our rubber washer. Screw on the nut so it's just a little past the top of the hilt, enough for the rubber washer to sit on top. Now just force the rubber washer on the top of the hilt so it's flush with the top. Make sure it's nice and tight. Screw up the nut so it's flush against the rubber washer. Insert the blade into the hilt. Once again, this is going to be a tight fit, so use some force, but be careful. Make sure the holes that we drilled all line up. Place one plastic washer bevel up into the side drain opening. Now use one of the 1/2 inch flat washers that is unpainted. Then grab the second one that we have painted with our Sharpie marker. Now pass our number 10 machine screw right through all the openings. Give it a little wiggle, make sure it passes all the way through. Using our number 10 cap nut, let's secure it. You might have to use a screwdriver like I had to give a little help, but do not over tighten. Remember, this is only plastic. Alright, we're finished. Now, let's test it out. Thanks for watching Code 3 Imagination's first YouTube video. If you like it, click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I will include a complete parts list in the description below. Also, make sure to visit us on Facebook.